Hey guys, Jared here with the Shooting Institute, bringing you this episode of Simplify the Chaos. It's a special edition, i.e. fireside chat in Indiana with Troy DeHart. So, we're here, we're doing the podcast. You finally made the podcast, Troy. How does it feel?
It's amazing.
Have you even listened to the podcast?
A little bit, when I'm forced to.
When you're forced to? When have you listened? Have you listened to one episode of
podcast is good. Yeah. Rebels played it one day on the way to Texas.
So you made it, so you were forced to.
It was good though.
Okay, it was good. Yeah.
You guys are the best.
Yeah, we are the best. Thank you. So you finally, here at TSI, we're better than you, and we know it. So we're up here, been doing training up here at your place this week. For a handful of guys, we're going to be doing some training with some other law enforcement agencies and helping them in their fight against, obviously all kinds of criminal activity, but in particular against human trafficking and pedophilia, right? That coming up with Covenant Rescue Group stuff. So while we're up here, we want to do kind of a special fireside, chat with you in this super nice cabin that we've always stayed in. I mean, heck, I've come here every year, a handful of times a year since 2008.
Basically, your name's on it now. So.
Pretty much my name's on it, right? It's mine, essentially.
It's
instant
reservations.
You call. You know what? Welcome to my cabin, Troy. Deer beds everywhere. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. If you can't, if you're listening to the podcast on like iTunes or Spotify or something, there's like.
If only you could claim one of these kills.
Yeah, if only I could claim one of these bucks. I mean, they got. I think that one deer over there. That's 70 inches.
Yeah, like a little over 170 inch.
170 inch deer. These are all just deer that y'all shoot out of your cornfields up here, right?
Yeah, most of these deer come within 5 mile radius.
Y'all shoot them in season or out of season?
Always in season.
Yeah. Okay.
Legal kills.
Legal kills, not
Absolutely.
on spotlight. Not you sure?
Negatory.
Okay. All right.
Legal.
Yeah, the COs up here, they're pretty hardcore, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you got to stay legal up here. You'd be better off killing a person up here than you would a deer out of season.
Probably would be.
Yeah,
you sure don't want to shoot a red-tailed hawk.
Oh, crap. So, I would tell a story about my brother Clay, but I won't.
Let's not incriminate Clay today.
Yeah, we won't incriminate Clay today. So where we started from. So when I got to the SEAL teams, new guy checked in, was there for a handful of months, whatever, half a year, and wound up coming to sniper school. So that was sniper school, 2008, come up here to Indiana. I'm actually, if I remember right, and you would remember some of this, it was at the beginning of sniper school, right? I was looking for a place to go to church on Sunday. The chapel on base up here wasn't open. This is where we do our sniper school at, right? So it's not like there's a lot of options. I didn't know anything. I was in one of those sniper instructor trucks, just drive around the big mud tires and all that stuff. The chapel on base wasn't open. Go out in town to get some groceries, come back in, and I see some people going in and out of the chapel, and I thought, oh shoot, I'm gonna go see what time the church is starting. It's got different. It's got Catholic, Protestant. It's got the different things. So I'm looking at the Protestant level since that's where we what I was raised in, and I'm like, I'll go to the Protestant service, and see this guy standing right here. For all y'all watching on the camera, this guy actually looked dapper. He was
the one day I wear a suit.
Yeah, shaved, clean cut. I see a guy in a suit with I saw a guy in a suit tie. I said, I bet that's the pastor right there. So I go pull him by. I said, hey man, you the preacher of the church? He said, no, I'm just here picking up guys to go to my church out in town, just picking up soldiers because had all the National Guard that would come into the base, right? So I'm just picking up soldiers. You want to go? And I'm like, heck yeah, dude, let me go park this truck. I'll be back. It wasn't probably a quarter mile, half mile on the road. I went and parked the truck, ran back, hopped in the van with you, and went to church with y'all that evening. It was an evening service, right?
Evening service.
It was an evening service. So what was the, that's kind of, in my opinion, that's the sovereign hand of God, working through almost a divine appointment. Because I look at it now, I'm saying, shoot, that was 12, 13 years ago almost, right? Coming up on 13 years ago, Jared Hudson meets Troy DeHart randomly looking for a church service to go to on a Sunday evening while in SEAL Sniper School.
Yeah, it was a little different than that, though. I mean, you're close to the story, but
all right, so tell me,
I thought you were truly going to, pull a fast one on me. So,
no. What do you got? What was it?
No, it was good. You're like, yeah, my dad's a Baptist preacher out of Alabama.
I told you that the first time?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
I said, hey, I'm taking off base for this to the Baptist church I go to, and I had 3 or 4 soldiers there that was going to go as well. It's kind of comical. You're like, Baptist? My dad's a Baptist preacher now from Alabama. I'll be back in 15 minutes. And I thought, all right. Took off. 15 minutes, no show. 20 minutes, no show. I thought, this guy's totally messing with us. I said, all right, guys, we got to get going. We're going to be late. And sure enough, here you come strolling down through there with the old flannel.
Yep. They wouldn't let me. I couldn't take the truck back. You know, I had to run. I had to run back. I had to park the truck, and I had to go back, run out of our little compound cage back down there.
The funny thing is that my
Was
wife.
that flannel with jeans and cowboy boots or something?
Yeah, yeah, and I never wear a suit and tie. And that night, that week, my wife had bought me a new suit and tie for a position I held within the county, and I had to wear a suit and tie that Monday. So I thought, I'm going to put this thing on Sunday night, just to, see how it fits. And got your attention because he thought I was a preacher, and I thought that was kind of comical. But had I not put that suit and tie on, you may not have addressed me as the pastor. That's kind of in my mind what I thought it was all.
No, I wouldn't have. I mean, I
working
might
of
not.
God.
Yeah, man. That's, it was definitely, like you said, it was the working of God. I probably wouldn't have, thought twice about it.
Well, see, I'd been praying anyway because I'd picked up, our church had picked up there was not a military branch we'd not picked up. And, Green Berets, Rangers, we had the Air Force guys.
PJs?
The PJs, yeah, I picked up a PJ. And mainly a lot of National Guard guys. There's a lot of full-time guys come through, a couple Marines. So I started praying. I was like, Lord, I know the compound's down the road. There's SEALs in and out here. They're snipers. They're training. And, bring me one. Let's get the gospel out. And then I got stuck with you.
Yeah, you got stuck with me.
No, it's a good move.
So from that point in time, though, now, let's look at it beyond our relationship, which we'll talk about with business, with TSI, since you're one of the founding guys. Of that relationship, how many SEAL snipers have you been connected to, been able to get into church, be able to share Christ with, been able to further the gospel with, just in that community, off of that one meeting alone, off of us meeting that one evening, going to church together? I think I went right up here to your house and ate supper with y'all. I think we had dinner together, and then you took me back to the base.
Grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese, that's right. Grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Yeah,
actually,
that's right.
Yeah. It's funny how we remember those things from 13 years ago, but I can't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
Yeah. As far as guys actually went to church, 15, 20.
Yeah, a handful of guys. I know when I'd come back up and hunt, even when I was out, you had guys like Milky, Eddie. Remember Eddie Abear, who else?
Milky was real faithful.
Milky.
Scott Lopez.
So Lopez, yeah, man. I talked with him over Messenger, like Facebook Messenger or something the other day. He sent me a message. I say the other day.
He's a good guy, real faithful.
Yeah, good guy.
And then, I don't know, some students filtered through, and that, honestly, Jared, I just forget their names.
Yeah, I remember we had Gamashay came up with me.
Gamashay, yes. Yeah.
I think he's still in.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a while. Great guy.
I think I hadn't talked to him in a while either. So, a lot of good dudes. So, we made a connection, right? That's further sniper school connections for you and NSW, and you being able to support the community and do a lot of great things. And your parents, your brother, being able to help out in the way they have up here. I guess it was around February 2013. No, it was January 2013. Somewhere around that time frame. Maybe it's but it's the beginning of the year. We do our first class. We're up here with Bud, and you set up a class at local farm a guy had. I don't even remember where it was, but what I do remember is we had a class up here, and heck, man, we rolled in. We made like $4,500 in the weekend, and we all just split up the cash. 3 ways. I think it paid for my trip up. We're like, holy cow, we made $1,200 a piece after the trip up was paid. This is good money in our minds. It was good. I'm still kind of on that Navy paycheck, right? That's kind of held over. I'm now at the point where I'm out. I'm transitioning through some medical stuff and everything, which we don't have to talk about right now. But I'm at that point to where it's not really. I don't really realize that. Hey, I got to make a living now. You're working. It's good side money. Bud is retired, so it's good side money. And that's kind of what we thought it was going to be. A couple of pistol classes here and there, right? Is that pretty much the first run of it?
Yes. And the curriculum was just kind of
It was nothing. It wasn't curriculum.
No, it was.
Yeah, y'all show up and shoot.
Everybody shoot with the Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
Come on.
Show them how to draw from their holster. Show them how to do a mag change, and that's pretty much it, right? It wasn't definitely wasn't what we have going now, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's everybody grows into something, and we were at the infant stages. We didn't even know.
Sometimes that's more fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a whole lot of fun. Yeah.
Because it wasn't real work. We were just fun hanging out and shooting.
Just out hanging out and
making
shooting.
some cash.
Yeah. So, where do we come up with the name, the Shooting Institute? You're the one who actually came up with it. You came up with TSI, the Shooting Institute. I know we talked a bunch of different, but I can't remember
We just
where.
brainstorming it. We went up to the farm because we didn't have an office, so we borrowed my brother's office and just
Went up to the farm and sat down.
sat around, got on the laptop, and started just seeing what other names were out there because we wanted to pick some name somebody already had. And
Yeah, that's right.
we wanted something kind of catchy, and it just somehow it spewed out.
TSI,
the
Shooting
Shooting
Institute. So you
Institute.
can't even remember exactly where it came from either,
Could have been you. Could have been me.
For whatever reason, I thought it was you. But yeah, we came up with TSI, the Shooting Institute, and trademark. So
Hashtag trademark.
So we do the Shooting Institute, and off we go, right? We started it here. Bud was actually the one who started the Shooting Institute.
Yeah, Bud Litch, he's the original
He
guy.
started it here.
Well, yeah, he brought me in to help him out, and then I said, hey, let's bring Jared in.
That's where he came up with a name and developed this
DJ
plan.
helped us some too, Newtsman. Yeah.
Yeah, DJ with his range over there. And that was a little bit after all this. Though,
That's
right?
true. It
Yeah,
was a little bit down the
A little
road.
bit more in spring. But we got we started it. Now, what we realized real quick was me being partnered in a venture up here in Indiana was, especially one that was just side money, was extremely difficult. And what I realized is with some of the work I was doing, contract work I was doing, is extremely difficult to partner in a business with y'all and do the stuff I was doing in Alabama. Now being out, now I finished, having a business degree, going through my master's in business, almost done with that. I realized that was a lot smaller matter than what we originally thought. But hey, we didn't know what we didn't know, and it was big to us at the time, and it was hard to do it. So I stepped away and started the Shooting Institute in Alabama. We were looking at trying to do kind of a franchise thing or whatever, and that never panned out. Again, just two different business mindset. One group of guys was looking for good weekend money, and I was looking for a way to make a living, right? And and it kind of turned into the same for you. You're like, hey, this is more than just weekend money. This is this is a needed paycheck to supplement my regular income, my law enforcement retirement, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, we did that for a while. Again, no real curriculum, and it was probably, I talked about this in the first podcast of this year that we did when we were going through what Zach saying, hey, we need a founder story so people can kind of see kind of where it came from. Where I really started learning how to teach, which originally started, I don't know how much of it we got into that first one with Tony DiNicola at White Buffalo. We were teaching classes, I was teaching and everything, but he called me up, and then I realized I saw the curriculum that he had for National Wildlife Control Officers Association, which we still teach for. We've done some of those classes up here. I saw what he was teaching, how he was teaching his curriculum, and even though it was different because it's all wildlife related as opposed to tactical related and stuff, it's still shooting, still shooting. And man, I was able to sit down and see everything that he put in. He had big PowerPoints. The guy's a PhD. Dude's really
Well,
smart.
he set standards, and he expected his shooters to meet these standards, or you're not gonna do work for me.
Right.
Or I'm not gonna sign off that you can be a certified pest control.
No matter what you pay.
Agent.
And so for me, that was the first time I'd seen that in the civilian world. Obviously, we had that in the SEAL teams, right? There were certain standards that had to be met for you to be a SEAL or to go for law enforcement. Certain standards had to be met, but how do you enact that over a civilian who just paid you a couple $100 for a class or whatever? How do you enact that? But Tony was the first one that I saw that. He taught me how he did that, and I was able to look at what he did with curriculum. I was able to develop a little bit of curriculum with him for NACOA for a basic marksmanship class, and I really learned a lot in the few years I did that with him, with National Wildlife Control Officers Association. Jason Riegers was there at the time, and he helped me a good bit with business thought, the business mind, because he did a really good job growing his business. Tony did too with some of the contracts he did, and I was able to start looking into and learning what I wanted to, kind of what I wanted to grow TSI into. Ultimately, with all that, I was like, yeah, I can go do other things, and I stepped into working with Tony, and I saw with him, even though Tony, a lot of people work for Tony, they get upset because Tony is, he expects what Tony wants. I always like working with Tony, right? A lot of guys think he's hard to work with because they're intimidated by him. I was never intimidated by the guy, but I mean, the guy, if this is what he expected, you knew where you stood with Tony DiNicola. And even if he'd pitch a fit and get mad at you about something, now that my business is where it is, I'll be honest with you, I can kind of see.
Then there's us guys that work for you on the side.
Yeah,
This is what I expect out of you guys. We don't care.
Yeah, we don't
This
care.
is what we're going to do.
This. Yeah, exactly. And that's, so I kind of see.
But it's all good. At the end of the day, we get the work done for you.
Absolutely.
But
that's, I understand, why. It's difficult when you're trying to manage everything. You got all this stuff going on. And you got this massive project going on, and it's difficult to keep everybody on lines. Everybody gets upset. Somebody would get upset if you do one thing, and then the person right beside them would get upset just because you just did something differently as a leader. So it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't every time you turn around,
Yeah.
And that being said, it's not a big deal, but that's just the struggles of any sort of leadership. When you're managing a team of, in our case, 10 to 20 people, depending on the job, right?
Yeah.
It's between the camera guy, the podcast setup, the guy running operations, let's say for CRG, the guy running training, meeting with the sheriff over something. You got all this stuff going on. Yeah, man, it winds up getting difficult. So it's good having a good team of guys around you. But I learned a lot of that from Tony. I learned a lot of what to do. I learned a lot of what not to do. But I was able to learn how he was able to package it and turn that project into something that people could work on together and actually accomplish something, because we accomplished a lot with that.
But at the end of the day, you're the name that signs on it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You're the name that's on it.
And that's when the guillotine falls.
If I mess up,
it's JHud Hudson.
It's JHud Hudson.
Mike messes up, it's JHud Hudson. It doesn't matter how much y'all can say, and guess what? Y'all are going to take ownership and say, no, it was me that did it.
It's on me,
but ultimately it doesn't matter. It's mine, right? It's on Jared, no matter what you say.
And I'll knock on the wood. We've
been pretty good so far. That's right.
So
we've been pretty good so far.
Lord's blessed in that area. So
hopefully he continues to bless in that area. So, we were able to. The Lord just opened the doors. It's almost miraculous how it happened. We're like it's like the movie Miracle, the hockey movie, where they somehow miraculously win. That's us. We're dadgum, it's just this little group of guys who are just swinging for the fence, and every now and again we connect with one, and we ain't put one over the fence yet, but we're still we're succeeding in really a hard industry, a hard community to exceed in. Or hard community to succeed in, not even exceed. The expectations, just succeed.
Well, the cost of ammo's really put a little bit of a chocks.
You talking about just over the last year?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's when we're when ammo's going for, we're getting it cheaper than $1 a round, which is what most people are paying for it. But when you have to buy, when you have to float money to pay for a couple 100,000 rounds, or 100,000 rounds, 50,000, when you have to, it costs you that much money, or you've got to get put on a pre-bill and put on a credit account and wait for 120 days, so you've lost that money for 4 months while you're waiting on your ammo to come in. I don't have money or ammo, or a lot of times that's what happens. That's not always the time. That doesn't always happen like that, but more recently it seems like that's what's been going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the same thing with you?
Oh yeah.
And it is making training hard, especially for civilians and law enforcement. It's just like this week we'll be up here, and the law enforcement agency, they can't, they don't want. They're like, hey, we want to train them, but they don't have the amount of ammo to be able to do the training we would normally conduct for them. So we're having to kind of tailor that a little bit. So, but that's kind of it. For at least that's where the whole thing started. Yeah, with old man Troy, old Trailer Troll himself. How did you get the nickname Trailer Troll? People have been sending messages to little Antifa himself over there. Hey, how's Troy Trailer Troll? And go online, pick out a Trailer Troll mug.
Ultimately, I blame you.
Support Troy,
because I was running tactical shotgun course for TSI and setting up range. I had to move a wagon around that we were utilizing, and Dave Peterson was with me out there, and I pulled the hitch pin on that tongue and had a lot of pressure on it, and it just felt like getting hit with a sledgehammer on my foot. Dave looked at me and he's like, "Man, that's gotta hurt." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's broke." It felt like my toe went through the bottom of my boot. So
was it broke? Was it broke? When you got an X-ray?
Oh, it's broke all the way through with an offset. They're like, "All right, we really should probably pin this. Okay,
man.
We need to put a pin in this. However, if you won't use it and stabilize it, we think it'll be all right." "Okay, Doc, I can do that. Next week we're going to Texas to do
did a job in Texas. You did the breach and stuff all the way hobbled around.
That's hobbled around.
We took that camper to stay in out there. We had the camper, and Christian
slept
slept in the other trailer, the training trailer, and Ben, you slept out. Where you at? You slept outside, didn't you?
Between trucks.
Yeah, you hung in a hammock between two trucks.
He's basically out.
Dude, it was good weather though. It was perfect for
I
that.
thought he got the name Trailer Troll because he was hobbling around the.
Well,
No,
yeah,
that's it. He was in the trailer.
Yeah, because the kid, I was.
You'd be sleeping, all of a sudden you feel that camper, just like rocking. You wake up, feel like you're in a boat in the ocean, and you see Troy be like hobbling around. He's like, "I can't sleep. This bed's bad on my back," and he'd be complaining. No, he's just an old man who can't sleep.
Snoring.
No, man. So he's like, "God, snoring." So Hartley said he woke up one day and he saw Troy was like wrapped up in this blanket over. He was laid up over under the table.
I got under the table in the.
Under the table, he's just moving back and forth. You'd find him in a random spot in the trailer. Mr. Eddie, look, Mr. Eddie, right? For those of y'all don't know Mr. Eddie Gallagher. Mr. Eddie was on that trip.
Yeah.
He got the name Mr. Eddie from Hartley.
Yes.
Who said he had to show him respect because he respected him so much.
Mr. Eddie.
So he called him.
All the celebrities get a Mr. instead.
Yeah, he called him Mr. Eddie, kind of like Mr. Kevin, right?
Kevin and Mr.
So, Mr. Eddie, every night by the time 8:30-ish or 8:45, maybe 9 o'clock rolled around, dude, he was smoked. He was done. He crawled up.
It's like a little cocoon.
He was. He would wrap up in this little blanket on the top bunk of the back part of the camper. Dude was out. Dude would be out till 6:15, 5:45, whatever time he woke up the next morning.
Go for his
get up and go for
run.
his little 5-mile run or whatever. But he would. Mr. Eddie was out of it at night. All this racket going on, music playing, everybody, Troy hobbling around but it was Mr. Eddie that gave you that nickname.
Was it really?
It was Mr. Eddie. Mr. Eddie came up that. He's like,
Troy likes his nickname a lot more.
yeah, because Mr. Eddie gave it to him.
That's a great name.
Mr. Eddie gave you that nickname. Mr. Eddie gave you the nickname Trailer Troll. He's like a little trailer troll popping around. You turn around, he's all of a sudden there, but you feel the trailer rocking, and somebody, the trailer troll's hobbling
I'm
about.
just trying to find a place to nest down for the night. I just want to sleep.
Troy, the thing with Troy is on all these trips, one thing he loves staying in a Hampton, right?
Oh,
Troy
man,
loves staying in a
coffee.
Hampton.
Got the
Right?
coffee.
He's like, I love staying in a Hampton. So he was devastated. You were devastated.
I was pretty.
When we drug that fifth wheel out there. We're like, we're gonna stay in this fifth wheel camper.
Because I knew what it was going to be
It's like 8 dudes.
I knew. I've been down that road before, dude.
We just stay in that fifth wheel camper, and that's where you earned. I know we're gonna try to wrap this up here a little bit. We're gone across the spectrum of things, but at least everybody got to kind of be introduced to the Trailer Troll. But there's also another nickname for you that was came up with by one Stuart Hartley. Can we hear it? It's almost hurtful.
It is hurtful.
It's hurtful.
But I laughed really hard.
It's funny
Let me
because
fix
it's
my
true.
hair.
It's hurtful because it's true. But what was it? What did he call you that one night?
I made a comment. He said, "I've had something about that'll be enough out of you, friar tuck haircut."
Your little friar tuck, your little monk bowl haircut, your little bald spot on
I
your
guess
head.
the gray coming in doesn't let me look like I got any hair there.
Yeah, it could be that, or just the overall bald spot on the back of your head.
The trip back to Alabama, I think all of us laughed the whole way. Jared was like, "That's the meanest and funniest thing."
Oh, dude, it was so mean, friar tuck.
Wow.
Oh man, there might be a Friar Tuck coffee mug coming out soon. You know? Why don't you turn the back of your head? Why don't you turn so the camera can see? For those of y'all see, for those of y'all not there, we'll try to describe it. There's this light colored gray, short hair on the side, just above the ears. Around the back, it's short. The front is almost a perfect Lloyd Christmas bowl, and it's thinning on the top, but it's a perfect little thinning hole on the back of his head to make him look like Friar Tuck. Anyway, well, hey man, thanks for the time today. Sorry for those listening, losing my voice with the training we've been doing. Everybody been yelling out. We're pushing some tactical shotgun courses now. Troy developed all the curriculum, so if it sucks, tell us it sucks. We can blame him. If it's great, I'm the owner of a company, so hey, I did a great job, right? That's the way it works, right? No, just check it out. Tell us what you think. Look at some videos, and then obviously we've got that running up here in Indiana, just like we do in Alabama. Thank y'all so much for listening. Go ahead and click subscribe on the YouTube channel, the podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. And if you don't want to follow us on any of those liberal social media sites, who will probably cancel us soon, go ahead and follow us on BitChute, on, what's the other ones, Ben? Rumble and Parler. I'll get this at some point in time without having to ask the guy behind the camera. Rumble, Parler, all of those other things. Check us out on those as we're trying to get our following up a little bit bigger on that. Thank y'all for listening. Thank you for your support. Go to the website, buy some stuff. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the USA. See, Troy, that wasn't that bad, right?
No, that was
kind of fun.